Hi, and welcome to today's video in the Study and Fees Daily With series. We've already published many videos about enriching your written English. Today, we'll be talking about one more clause you can use to make your writing better. The objective of this lesson is to teach you one additional structure, the adjectival clause, that will enrich your writing and give it more sentence variety. First, let's understand what an adjectival clause is. An adjectival clause functions just like an adjective. That is, it describes a noun. Because it is a clause, it also has a subject and a verb. Look at the example. The man who robbed the store has been apprehended by the police. This is a complex sentence with an adjectival clause. The complex sentence has an independent clause, that is, a standalone sentence. The independent clause is: the man has been apprehended by the police. The adjective clause is: who robbed the bank. This is the subject post-modifying position of the adjectival clause. This means that it comes after the subject and it describes the subject. It answers the question which man. In this case, the man who robbed the store. Now, let's look at the second location of the adjectival clause. This is the object modifying position. Here, in this example, he is the man who robbed the store. He is the man is the independent clause. It has a subject, a verb, and an object. The adjectival clause is basically describing the object. It is answering the question, which man? In this case, the one who robbed the store. Now that we've understood the two locations of the adjectival clause, let's understand the relative pronoun that they start off with. When, where, who, whom, whose, that, what, or which are the most common relative pronouns used to start an adjectival clause. Each of them is used differently. So first, let's find out how each of them is used. Firstly, when is used when a time or a period has been described. Look at the example. The era when the dynasty ruled was marked by strife. Here, the independent clause is the era was marked by strife. The adjectival clause basically describes era. It answers the question, which era? Here, the adjectival clause has been used in the subject modifying position. That means this is the subject and the adjectival clause describes the subject. Look at the second example to understand how where has been used. When the noun being described denotes a place, then where is the relative pronoun that initiates the adjectival clause. Look at the example. We will meet at the park where we met last time. Here, the independent clause is we will meet at the park. The adjectival clause, where we met last time, describes the object. So, this is the subject, this is the verb, and this is the object of the independent clause. The adjectival clause describes the object. It answers the question, which park? In this case, the park where we met last time. The next two relative pronouns used to initiate adjectival clauses are who and whom. Both are personal. That means they refer to a person. However, there is a small difference that we will discuss in a minute. Firstly, let's look at the first example. He is the man who won the lottery. Here, the independent clause is he is the man. It has a subject, a verb, and an object. The adjectival clause describes the object. It answers the question which man, in this case, the man who won the lottery. Now look at the example with whom. He is the man whom I met in Brussels. This too is the object modifying position. This is the subject, the verb, and the object of the independent clause. Again, the adjectival clause modifies the object. Now let's talk about the difference between who and whom. Who itself is a subject, and it must be followed by a verb, as we can see here. Who is followed by the verb one. Whom cannot be followed by a verb. Whom must be followed by a subject. As we can see here, whom is modified by the subject I. Now let's look at two more relative pronouns that are used to initiate adjectival clauses. Whose indicates possession or ownership. Look at the example. She is the woman whose car was stolen. Here, the noun car is owned by the subject she. Here too, the adjectival clause occupies the object position. She is the woman is the independent clause. It has a subject, a verb, and an object. The adjectival clause in this case is modifying the object. It is describing woman. It is answering the question, which woman? In this case, the woman whose car was stolen. Now, let's look at that. That can only be used when a thing is being described. Look at the example. The cake that I baked was delicious. Here, the adjectival clause is describing the subject cake. The independent clause is the cake was delicious. The adjectival clause is describing the subject cake. It is telling us more about the cake. Which cake? The one that I baked. In this series of videos about enriching your writing with various kinds of structures, we will learn more various structures that can give us a well-rounded mixture of lots of different kinds of sentences. It is important to use simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences, and also compound complex sentences. What we have learned today is one kind of complex sentence, the one that uses an adjectival clause. You can use all these structures to make your writing richer and more varied. See how a very well-written sentence has been constructed using the adjectival clause. Let's read it together. The student who was selected to deliver the farewell speech was an eloquent speaker. Sentence variety is a quality that good writers possess. It is also one of the marking criteria in several English language proficiency tests. Writing a variety of sentences will basically demonstrate the fact that you're comfortable using many different structures. For example, look at this sentence written with an adjectival clause. I visited a temple that housed several deities inside an open compound. Use adjectival clauses to enrich your writing and give it more variety. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For more videos like this, connect with us at studyunifees.io. Till then, all the best and take care.